Hi, folks. It's Adrian Crypto speaking. Welcome to today's a little bit different Friday video. So instead of the webinar, I just wanted to shoot this short video message for all of you because I've received so many beautiful, great birthday wishes for my 30th birthday. 30th birthday is, some people say it's special. I guess the whole time is special. It just depends, to which numbers we kind of like get anchored to, if it makes sense, right? So I'm not expecting any magic behind the year number 30 versus 29 or something. Still, I'm recording that again to make a huge shout out to everybody who's always very constructive in the space. And big thanks and shout out again for all of beautiful messages and thank you and the birthday wishes that I received from you because you guys are special. So right now I'm kind of like at the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It's a little bit of a special place for so many people. I find it always inspiring, which is just pretty cool that people, the civilization can really achieve this stuff. Though it finds and originates, itself from hard work, and becoming a trader is also a very hard work. Becoming a good trader, a profitable trader, is even a harder work if you think about that, right? So, I've been here for over 7 years, basically trying to provide the reliable education to the people, and of course, there were a lot of ups and downs. However, what I found is the most interesting and inspiring thing is the persistence, right? When we try to persist despite all the difficulties, when we try to remain over the surface, above the surface, kind of like float, even if it's floating, if it's not kind of like skyrocketing your portfolio, even if it's just for some time, basically, staying somewhere, managing to persist through, it's already better than 90% of the people, because most of the traders, they fail, and they fail badly. About shocking 90% of traders basically lose money. Okay, those are some big numbers. And when you think about that again, this is a very hard and tough game that we're playing, right? For being a trader in cryptocurrency time, it is dependent on what season you enter. If you enter in the most bullish season, you may hit this first timer's luck and get basically double, triple your portfolio without necessarily without knowing what you're doing per se, and still be profitable, right? Then later to collapse your entire portfolio, kind of like overtrade, overinvest, not use the stop losses, etc. I've been there. I've done that. I lost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, basically this way. Even more on the missed opportunities, if you think about that, right? So speaking of missed opportunities, we're talking about the market right now. Bitcoin and of course all of the traditional finance, it's all correlated. It's all related. You cannot kind of like separate one from another. And when you think about that, Bitcoin is slowly becoming a tech stock. It's a little bit of a more beta volatile tech stock, slightly more volatile NASDAQ in a way, right? So if somebody wants to trade NASDAQ and they want to have more freedom, more control over what they're doing without the necessity to have approach exchanges, brokers, etc., and have the full capacity and the full freedom, basically you can go and buy Bitcoin, right? So it's gonna give you a little bit of similar result to buying the NASDAQ and investing in stocks. So think about that in terms of trying to diversify the portfolio. If you try to diversify Bitcoin with tech stocks or tech stocks with Bitcoin, it's not going to give you diversification. Most of the time, it's going to give you over investment because you're basically doubling or tripling your investment on the same type of risk asset, right? While searching for diversification, basically, we should search for negatively correlated assets or zero correlated assets that are neutral to one another, right? That's a very basic thing of the portfolio diversification methods. Still, what's relevant again, timing is crucial and essential. So last month, for the first time ever, Jeff Hirsch, the Stock Traders Almanac creator, the founder, that he's running that as a CEO, almost 60 years of experience, and I, CMT, have put together this Bitcoin seasonal daily article to help onboard all those institutions that are coming, right? This article was free. It's free. We kind of like took it off the website lately from Jeff to make space for another works that he's doing. I haven't charged. We didn't charge on that a single piece, right? It was free. It's always free, and so on. Those of you who actually read it, the value and how big of a game changer that is for spotting the seasonal patterns. Because basically September is the only losing month for Bitcoin ever, on average, 6.5% on the loss, right? If you keep investing every year in September, if you keep buying Bitcoin September 1st and selling September 30th every year over the last 13 years, you're going to lose 6.5% on average. That's not necessarily a good deal if you plan to be a short-term trader. However, speaking of the article itself, knowing that we have halving ahead on the late April 2024, we know that we want to focus on the facts. And the facts are that 2023 is a pre-election year, which gives you 83 out of 84 years that were bullish. 83 out of 84 years that were pre-election years since Second World War, 1939, were bullish, closed higher than they opened. So by still betting on the bearish side and being on the disbeliever side, that it's going to crash, that it's going to fail like any other rally, you're basically committing to believing 1 or 2% of chances of winning while betting on the bear side. But betting on the bull side, this collides, or I should say coincides with all the factual data from 84 years of sample. That's something that you shouldn't ignore, right? So that's the first thing. The seasonal pattern is there, and it's a pre-election year post the midterm bear market. It's typically a very bullish season, right? So the bullish season itself is there. The bull market has been on since January, which is where the bull market curves the 200-day moving averages for the Derby-Kidder Pro or the simple moving average, in January or in March, basically started curving up. We broke above 20,000. We started curving up, right? And ever since, Bitcoin has made over 100% to the upside, bouncing off 15,500 all the way almost to 32,000. So we know that the pre-election news is bullish itself, especially if it comes after the midterm bear market, which was 2018 and 2022, right? We have those bullish setup. We have the moving average that is moving up, basically rising, which is exact definition of the bull market, right? So we can keep denying all the facts. You can keep denying all the data, right? Though it doesn't make you money, because if you keep denying the reality, you are caught in disbelief, you're caught in the denial, you're caught in cognitive dissonance. And guess what? The greatest amount of cognitive dissonance of this denial of reality happens at the very early stages of the reversal. So we have just turned up after the yearly bear market of the midterm elections. We are in the most positive setup that you can find on record, right? For S&P 500, it's instead of 12%, it's going to give you basically closer to 20%, right? On average, almost double the yearly return on average, okay? For NASDAQ, it's going to take you from somewhere closer to 14 to almost 30% on average, right? 28, 30% on average return. It's double, triple the amounts that you typically get. This is the most bullish setup on the record ever historically. Will that happen again? Well, it's been happening for a long time already, right? There's been some local seasonal weakness, of course, as it transpires in August and September. And October is a typical turnaround month for stocks to bottom out. And because Bitcoin is slowly getting into this long-term correlation aligned with the stock market, and especially with NASDAQ, you get to see similar behavioral patterns, similar seasonal patterns, right? So October typically returns 20% on average, 20% return over the last 13 years, right? With almost 70% win rate. So 70% of the time you win by betting on bullish October, and it averages you out 20% on return. And it immediately slips right into the even more bullish month of November. November typically kind of like gets you even 40% return, right? So that all together with a typical trio after the bearish September, which gives you the seasonal and the best buying opportunities on average, of the worst day on 26th, which is per the article that Jeff and I released. You're looking at October, which is typically bullish, and November, which is even more bullish, and December, which is also bullish towards the Christmas time, Santa Claus rally, and so on. But I'm just trying to tell you guys that we are ahead in the most bullish season of the time on record ever in the history, in the markets, traditionally and in crypto. We are at the very start of the most promising, historically bullish quarter four, after the bearish quarter three and the most bullish quarter four, which typically averages out 50% on your portfolio return. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money to be made. 50%, you can basically make 1.5x on your portfolio if you buy in quarter four, start and sell at the very end of the year. So next year is the re-election year, right? Many politicians want to get re-elected, especially those who are behind the steering wheel. They want to get re-elected. So it's very difficult and very low chance that they're going to hold on to high interest rates for a long time, because they're going to run out of money basically to fund their campaign, the political campaigns, and to get re-elected. Plus, imagine if they break the economy, who's going to re-elect them? Who's going to vote for them, right? So all that somehow transpires combined with the halving, right? And the last group of factors that after the halving, this is going to be the fourth halving again in April, next April 2024. The fourth halving, and previously, after every halving, every single halving, Bitcoin rallied very hard, right? Again, I'm not talking about my opinions. I'm commenting on something that happened, on facts, on 100% guarantee certainty things, right? Every single time after the halving, there was massive exponential rally. In 2000, that was 12 through 2014, there was a rally of 90x. From 2016 to 2018, there was a rally of 30x, right? From May 2020 after the COVID, which was the third halving, until 2021 peak, there was 7x rally. So 90x rally, 30x rally, and 7x rally. There's a lot of percentages. Those are the returns after every single halving in the past. So even though we don't know the future, perhaps there is a repetitive pattern that aligns with the digital scarcity boost and spike that happens after every, approximately 4 years, right? That is the kind of like embedded in the Bitcoin protocol after a certain amount of blocks, right? Because that's the definition of the halving itself. So the digital scarcity goes up. It's more difficult to mine the same amount of Bitcoin. It's more expensive to mine the same amount of Bitcoin. And still, there are institutions that are coming in. The Bitcoin ETFs are being filed on the Ethereum ETFs, BlackRock, VanEck, Vanguard, all of those big players, they are already here. And guess what they are doing? They're opening exactly at this time. They're entering the space, they're entering the chat without many people realizing that. In the most bullish setup, in the most bullish time of the year, the most, I should say, opportunistic time of the year, right? So when you think about that, perhaps it's wise to do what they're doing, right? Perhaps it's wise to collect your investment process, your investment thoughts and resources into what big money is doing. And they're typically playing it smart because they're operating with hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, not $100. So they need to get it right, okay? So long story short, after every halving, there was a massive rally. And the last fact, after every halving, Bitcoin never returned to the same halving prices. So it always rallied hard and it never returned to the halving prices. So it means that if you typically in history back in the years bought Bitcoin on the halving time, you're still profitable. Yeah, because there were massive rallies and Bitcoin never went below this price. So this may be a buying pattern. And on top of that, there's the last seasonal pattern that Jeff Hirsch talks about very often. It's the best 6 months, the best 8 month strategy, and the worst 4 months, which is a little bit typical. 6 months and six months best and 6 months worst is for the S&P 500, while 8 month best and 4 months worst, which is Q3, the worst one, is for Nasdaq. And Bitcoin is getting more and more similar and touched and correlated to Nasdaq, right? So it's worth tracking the pattern because the same exact pattern of best 8 months that is transparent and transpires again for the Nasdaq, it transpires as well for Bitcoin. That's what we found in the article with Jeff. So all this message is basically to tell you guys that we are in the most bullish opportunity to get your hands on and thoughts around Bitcoin, right? We are right ahead the halving, which typically brought massive rallies and never came back to the halving prices for Bitcoin. We're talking about the most bullish pre-election setup after the midterm bear market, which typically averages out twice or 3 times as, 200% of the typical kind of like returns throughout the years on average. You are in the most bullish quarter of returning 50% on average, with October and December being the best months of the year, right? And then on top of that, you're going to have excellent opportunities to learn more, to learn deeply, to learn better and to become better. It's slow. Many people still disbelieve that. Many people still choose to deny the facts, not look at the past data, ignore all the 99% chances of winning, and just believe into something because it fits in their short position, because they want to justify them to themselves, rationalize why they are short when everybody else and the big positions are being opened by their funds and they're long, right? So speaking of big opportunities, because again, this is supposed to be a short thank you message and letter, kind of like a video letter to all you guys. I love you so much. And because of that, I want to give you a little bit of a tease about something that is coming. because we of course have give you a glimpse on what's the hyper giveaway project that we're talking about, right? Where you can earn money every month basically for being a subscriber. On Twitter, we're just planning and pending for the Twitter's acceptance to get the kind of like their button to appear on the page, and the hyper giveaways are going live. However, if you remember, for the past 4 years, we continued to release something that we called Free Trading Congress that helped tens and thousands of people every year to come and learn for free. So Free Trading Congress, the 5th edition of Free Trading Congress, is coming to you this year in November 16th through 22nd. And it's gonna come to you for the first time ever in a hybrid mode. We're gonna have our digital conference, just like we would typically do, where we can come, sharpen your tools, sharpen your skills to become better trader for free for 7 days, no charge, not a single charge, with tons of value, packed with information, with facts, numbers, workshops, interviews with the most credible people. You can learn from them for free for 7 days. And what's exceptional, for the first time ever, we're hosting also a physical conference in Dubai in collaboration with Bybit. On November 16th through 18th, you're going to have a chance to meet us privately and join our physical conference in Dubai, Bybit's headquarters. You're going to be there. You're going to join there. This is to appreciate the most loyal affiliates of the Burbness and the Bybit. And you're going to have a chance to learn and come and participate in closed workshops, webinars, meet the Bybit team, meet our team, get to network with the people, learn so much physically with us in the office, in the space. And otherwise, everything else is going to be broadcasted online. And this is going to be the 5th edition that we're doing, the Free Trading Congress. Free entry, no charge, no anything, only pure value and alpha. November 16th through 22. And I hope that 200 people, the top 200 loyal people, are going to have a chance to meet us in the physical facility in Dubai, in the Bybit's office. Free Trading Congress number 5 is coming, baby. I'll see you there. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.